Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for September 30th, 2014, Tuesday night. Sun's down and it's a little bit wet out. Some sprinkles have been going on, but nothing significant. We'll have sprinkles and showers on and off for the next few days, but nothing significant. And some news to report that American League wildcard games going on between the Kansas City Royals and the Oakland A's on TBS and ESPN. And also on NESN is the New York Islanders against the Boston Bruins in preseason action. First preseason game on NESN for the Bruins. Glad to hear Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley back on again. 8 more days to the regular season for the National Hockey League. And tomorrow is my NHL 2014-2015 preview blog. I'll tell you all the predictions for every division, who's going to win the Stanley Cup, and all the awards. And my next subject, and my last subject of the night, is my personality profile. It's about Hockey Hall of Famer, the late, great Eddie Shore, who was a defenseman, one of the best defensemen of all time in the National Hockey League. He was the first major Bruins superstar player and defenseman. Played 14 years in the National Hockey League with the Boston Bruins and New York Americans. And Eddie Shore was born in Fort Quiz-Apple, Saskatchewan, Canada. He played junior hockey, defenseman, and then he started his professional career in the Old Western Canada Hockey League with the Regina Capitals, but that team folded, and then he was sold to the Edmonton Eskimos of the Western Canada Hockey Association. He got the nickname the Edmonton Express. He was a stay-at-home defenseman, but he was a rugged defenseman, a very tough defenseman. He did a lot of body checkings. He got into a lot of fights, a physical player. A lot of players on the opposing team feared Eddie Shore. In 1926, the Edmonton Eskimos sold his contract to Boston Bruins, and he suited up wearing number 2 for the Bruins, and he was one of the most physical players as a defenseman in the National Hockey League history. He had a lot of penalty minutes. He set the record in 1927-28 season for having 185 minutes in penalty minutes. Broke the record, but that record's since been broken many times. And Eddie Shore has stories that he was tough. And one time, a story that he missed the team's train, the Boston Bruins team train to Montreal, Canada to play a game against, I think, the Canadians or the Maroons. And he missed it, so he had to drive from Boston through New Hampshire and Vermont. And in Vermont, he was stuck all night and into the day. He got stuck into a snowstorm while he was driving through the mountains. This was before interstate highways like 93 and 89. That's the way you could go to Canada if you're driving now. And he got stuck in the Green Mountains because it was the middle of a blizzard. And he somehow got out of the blizzard, and he arrived up to Montreal about 2 hours before game time. And the coach of the Bruins at the time, Art Ross, fined him $100, and he says, I need to take a nap, wake me up and throw me like cold water over me. And story has it, he, with only 1 hour of sleep, he was kind of benched for that game, but he played the final minutes and he scored the only goal of that game, 1-0. That's an amazing story. And then Eddie Shore was challenged by a former Major League Baseball player named Art Shrine to a boxing match in 1930, but the MLB commissioner and the NHL president vetoed the boxing match, saying that would not be good, because if they had a boxing match, one of them could have gotten injured and it could have ruined their career. And Eddie Shore was infamous for accidentally punching a referee, Cooper Smicken, in a fight in January of 1933. He was fined $100. But he could have been fined more if he accidentally hit the referee in a fight. Now he could be could be suspended many games. And in December of 1933, Eddie Shore ended the career of Maple Leafs star player Ace Bailey with a hit that was severe. Ace Bailey suffered like a concussion, and he needed emergency brain surgery. He almost passed away during that hit in the hospital, but he made a full recovery. And then there was a benefit All-Star game to help Ace Bailey's medical treatment for him having surgery and to take care of his family. And Eddie Shore played in that benefit All-Star game, and a signature moment of it is when Eddie Shore shook the hand of Ace Bailey, saying he was sorry for that tremendous hit and stuff. Eddie Shore won many awards. He won two Stanley Cups for the Boston Bruins in 1929 and 1939. 4 times he was named National Hockey League's most valuable player. And 7 times he was named the first team, All-Star team for defense in the National Hockey League. And 1 time he was the second team All-NHL team. He ended his career with the New York Americans in the 1939-1940 seasons, but after that he played a couple more years for the American Hockey League Springfield Falcons, and he was so popular that he bought the Springfield Falcons. And his career stats for the NHL: 105 goals, 179 assists for 284 points, 1,091 penalty minutes. If you average this out today, averaging it out today, I think Eddie Shore would probably score maybe 250 goals and have like 500 assists, 750 points. He probably would have over 2,000 penalty minutes or so. He probably would win several Norris trophies as NHL's best defenseman, but they didn't give out Norris trophies back then. And then his number 2 was retired by the Boston Bruins, and he was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1947. He owned the Springfield Indians of the American Hockey League for over 30 years. That's amazing. And Eddie Shore had to sell them in 1976. And Eddie Shore passed away in 1985. And he won, before he passed away, he won the Lester Patrick Award for contributions to hockey in the United States. And he was one of the best defensemen of all time. I read a book about him about a few years ago, a pretty good biography about his life and stuff. First Boston Bruins superstar player, number 2 Eddie Shore, and that's about it on him. And this is the final video blog of September. I'm going to do this for 2014 because tomorrow is October 1st, and I'm continuing to grow on Facebook and YouTube with these videos and stuff, and I'm getting more followers, I'm getting more friends on Facebook. It's amazing. I hope you're enjoying these Facebook friends, YouTube followers. I love doing these video blogs, and there'll be more in the days, weeks, months, years, decades, millenniums, centuries, infinity. I'll keep going until the world ends. And tomorrow will be 3 more video blogs. It's going to be the 2014-2015 NHL preview video blog and my Week 5 NFL predictions. And the third one will be the history of The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, because 52 years ago tomorrow was his first show as host of The Tonight Show. I'm going to tell you about him. There will not be the top 10 list tomorrow, and it won't be the personality profile. Those 2 are taking maybe a day off. Like when there's 162 games a year in baseball, they need a day off or so, but they'll be back. And don't forget, coming soon, video blogs about Julie Broughton, Local News 6, Weekend Weather Lady, and Crystal Pistol, and Janelle Tobin, and Heidi Lee Pratt, and Tony Ramos, and Bruce Cronin, and Dee Patel. All of them will get video blogs in the coming weeks and months. I guarantee it, just like Vince McMahon. Well, see you later, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Good night, everybody.